Third time in the last month I've worn pants. That's because no pants review. We're not reviewing yet. We are unboxing what apparently must be a $1,800 box. Let's see if it's worth it. I'm Mr. X. This is the Extreme channel where we have extreme collectibles. This is as extreme as they come. This is a Lord of the Rings piece that most people look at and say, yeah, I'd pay $600 for that, but this is $1,800, and we're going to find out today if it's worth the hype. So we're going to unbox it, assemble it together. Not going to do the dual cam because I don't think there's that many pieces to it. And here is the initial boxes that came in. Check this out. So here you see the shipper, and then the art box, which I have on the table we're going to look closer at, with two huge foam pieces. And this weighs 27 kilograms. And I don't know what the math on that is. Suri might. Let's check. Hey Suri, how much is 27 kilograms in pounds?
27 kilograms is 59.52 pounds.
60-pound box. And this box is beautiful. It really is. And maybe that's why the piece costs $1,800. Thankfully, Mr. X didn't pay that, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So let's, wow, look at that. It's got a door. It's got a door that you can open. And an award. So let's check out the cover here, see what it says. Gollum, Masters Collection. So this kind of just talks about the intricacies of the statue. There's only 589 made. Who designed it? The co-founder. So very beautiful, pretty box. And let's check out what's in here right now. Very exciting because Little X, is that okay if I call you that? Yeah. Little X is off camera watching right now. It's been a while since he watched one. He does unbox things with me often, though. Big X, he doesn't like to do this stuff anymore. Preteen. All right, so looks like we have a COA. We have a sketch, kind of like an art print, but it's a sketch. I'll show you guys that in a second. And care instructions. How to clean it, how to handle it. So far, I am not disappointed. The fact that it's a $1,800 statue, it is really the royal treatment. I only own one other piece from Weta, which we'll talk about during the review. It is a Lord of the Rings piece. So let's put all this back in case we resell it someday. And we will put it to the side. I broke the seal, which is always really tough to do because once you break the seal, you keep going. And there are hinges on this box. There are hinges. And inside, what do we have? Woo! I don't even know. Looks like a drawers. Oh. It's hard to do with you guys watching. Kind of like pee and sex. Oh my goodness, I can't even get this out. That's what she said. No, I made a vow. Some of you may have seen it with the new year to be a little more... The strap to pull everything out just popped off. What a shame. Here's a picture of that. So I am ruining this beautiful box. They should have had instructions on how to unbox it. But thankfully, if you pick this up after me, you can use this video as reference. I cannot get these out. Seriously. And I'll break the box if I tip it over. Let's see. Maybe we can go through the back. She never said that. Nope, not going to work. I appreciate you guys on this journey with me. Okay, what you guys missed was I couldn't get these out. I even tried using a butter knife for some leverage, but because that strap pulled right off, I had to tip the box essentially over on the ground, and that ruined some of the hinges. So you almost have to ruin the box to get it out. Now, another interesting fact, this art decorative box here, I'm guessing 20 pounds. Shockingly, doesn't look like it, but extremely heavy. Maybe even 30 pounds. How much do you weigh, buddy?
60.
60, okay. All right. So, nice thing, still have some decorative packaging here. The top box, or the top drawer, so this was on top, is extremely light. Has a beautiful black, not really silk, fake silk bag. And what's interesting, the other Weta piece I have, I don't believe was packaged this well at all. But I don't think it's their master's collection. It is a very nice piece though. And another interesting fact, the bag where the drawstring is isn't as big as the box. So getting the foam packaging out is very difficult. Well done, Weta. You have to ruin the beautiful innate packaging you have to ruin to get out. Well played. See, it's getting caught on the drawstring of the bag. All right. This extremely heavy as well, which is really comforting to know that this statue is not 60 pounds. It's probably closer to 20. And we will need box cutters for that. Do you see the box cutters over there, bud?
Yeah, I know.
Can you look?
Yeah.
They're probably up on that shelf. They're the thing I used to cut open the boxes.
Oh.
Hence the name box cutters. Yeah, don't worry, you're not on camera. Come on. Because we can't have child actors on camera. And again, drawstring in the bag. Barely fits around it. So this is extremely light too. The heaviest part was the packaging, which shame on you because that only increases the shipping costs. So already some bad scores. I'm going to guess at most the statue weighs 20 pounds of the 60 in packaging. What was that noise, bud? That was upstairs? Who are they killing up there? Alright. So, the lighter, the top package. We open that up and we have some fake silk. And it looks like we have Gollum with a paintbrush and white gloves. We'll go ahead and put that to the side. So what do you think is in this package, bud?
I don't know.
Well, if that's the character, do you think this is switch out heads? What is missing? What do we put the character on?
The base.
The base, that's right. Some of you are probably wondering, is anybody really off camera or is he just talking to himself? All right. Also, this gray styrofoam did not cut well. Let's get our gloves on. I usually only wear these when I'm committing a crime. Ooh, they're big. PCS is usually like size large. So for us guys with big hands, you know what they say about guys with big hands, right?
No.
No, my son says no. It means that their no-no square is big. All right. So here we have the base, and of course we're going to do close-ups with the review. My initial thoughts are it's an $1,800 base. Looks pretty neat. And that is it in this one. And some candy. Alright. Get all these gray styrofoam pieces off the table. Yeah, shame, shame, shame on you, Weta. Horrible, horrible idea for packaging. I bet you that raised the price of the statue by a couple $100. Alright, we have the paintbrush, which I believe is Gollum's weapon of choice. And we will pull him out. See, I don't think we need two cameras to do the assembly because it's only two pieces. And he has a key and a peg on this hand. Mixed media. Ooh, that's what $1,800 buys you. And there we go. And I suppose he holds this weapon down here. Well, we'll have to figure that out. But that's it. So you have 4 pieces in here. You have the gloves, the paintbrush, the statue, and the base. All right. So what we're going to do now is I will take my pants off and we'll do an extreme review on this guy. Stay tuned.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening. You're a liar. And a thief. No. Murderer.
Now we're going to dive into the review of this piece to see if it's really worth $1,800 or not. To save you some time, it's not. But this is officially 1/3 scale Gollum from Lord of the Rings by Weta Workshop. As I said in the unboxing, I have one other Weta piece, and it is actually a Smog Dragon bust. Here's a picture of it. It's pretty phenomenal. This is probably like 1/10 scale or something of that nature. I don't know how big Smog is in real life. And this guy right here, I have my eye on since he was teased. And he's been out, I want to say, for over a year because I love the creature Gollum. I love the murderous Gollum, the crazy Gollum, the funny Gollum. I think he was a great part of the Lord of the Rings movies. He was one of my favorite characters in the scenes, and I want to put him with my movie display, villains, anti-heroes right behind me. So I've had my eye on him forever, but I was never going to pay $1,800. And then Spec Fiction, one of my favorite distributors in North America, did a Black Friday sale, 37% off and free shipping. So I jumped on the, what did I jump on? I jumped on Gollum right away. Couldn't resist. So it took a couple months to ship, which was fine by me. And now I finally have him. And as you saw during the unboxing, that was kind of frustrating. But as I look at this piece, kind of a spoiler for the upcoming review, it's really good. Is it worth $1,200? We know it's not worth $1,800. We're going to find out using the extreme scale. If you're new to the channel, T on the far left is trash. It's a 1 out of 5. And it goes TUVWX, where X is 5 out of 5. And we're going to review a whole bunch of different things on this piece. Before we do, let's talk about some background info. They made 589 of these, which is really strange to me because that usually an odd number insinuates made to order. However, if they were made to order, they wouldn't have some in stock, over a year and a half, 2 years later. So who knows what's going on with that? Maybe they just like the number 589. By the way, do the math. $1,800 times 589. Yeah. 1/3 scale. I said that. Let's measure him. The diameter of the base is approximately 12 inches. And up to the highest point, which is probably his elbow, is just under 17 inches. So that's a really nice thing, is he will fit well in any display. Now, one of the things we'll talk more about with design, But with being 1/3 scale, I think 1/4 scale would have been too small. So that was a really smart move by them as well. And the more I look at this, there's some things that are amazing and some things that are just like WTF thinking. So let's dive in. Let's just start with the concept. And when I talk about concept, specifically with a movie character, because I've been doing a lot of movie characters lately, we want to look at it. Does it make sense as it pertains to the movie? We don't talk about likeness. That is a different aspect. Even though, you know, we're going to make an executive decision because I'm the CEO of the Extreme channel. From now on, likeness is going in with the concept. So starting at the base here, conceptually, it's Gollum in his cave, and the sub base on the bottom here has this museum type outer look, which I hate. And we'll talk more about that in the design. The cave here, there's a water effect you guys really can't see right now, but we'll look at that with the close-ups. It's done really well. And he's sitting in his cave, and there's crap all over the rocks. There's fungus growing and bones. His precious is actually in there. I don't know if you could see it that close or not. We'll look at it later. And he's in a very interesting pose. You know, he's kind of a scavenger, a crawler, so they definitely got that on the head. And one of the things when we look at his portrait close-ups, but you'll see it here, is the expression on his face is perfect. You don't know which Gollum you're looking at because this could be an angry Gollum or a curious Gollum or a bored Gollum. So really, really neat. He does have a weapon in his back left hand, so we don't know if he's searching for food or if Bilbo's in the cave. But I think they nailed the concept, and as you saw in the portrait, and like I said, we'll do close-ups, they did a great job with the likeness. Now, what's interesting about the likeness of Gollum, it's slightly changed from movie to movie because he is a CGI creature. But when I look at it, it's clear that it's Gollum. One interesting part we're going to talk about is the eyes. I don't think they nailed the eyes correctly, but the way they did the eyes was pretty neat. So concept, we'll give it a W, a 4 out of 5. It's a rail. Rail means it's something I really want, but not necessarily a grail. Next is design. When we talk about design, we talk about its displayability. Did everything fit together well? Was it packaged well? Did the packaging make sense? Well, let's start with that because you saw that.
Sneaky little hobbitses.
Packaging was horrible. First of all, it was extremely elaborate, which tells me it cost a lot of money. It added significantly to the weight. The functionality of it was crap. Look at this. It could have been in a box this big, and we would have been better off. Granted, I didn't pay for shipping on this, but shipping price probably would have been 1/3, if not 1/5 of what it was. That's going back in the shipper. I am never going to look at that or use it again. Stop trying to make me feel better by charging me $1,800. Hashtag rant over. Another issue I have with the design is this museum circular base. This is stupid. You're trying to make me think this is museum quality. I want a statue of Gollum. This should have been rocks. It should have blended in better with the base. It doesn't make me feel better that this is so expensive because you have this black circular base. Another issue with the design, on the back, it's awesome looking. They have bones and mushrooms and fungus growing. It's the back. I won't see it unless I put it on the middle of my coffee table. None of the statues go on the middle of my coffee table. Design issue. Mixed media. Mixed media on such an expensive statue. You should have sculpted this. Sculpt, in my opinion, looks better. I don't have to worry, is this $1,800 statue going to deteriorate like my wolf predator right behind me? Come on. Then last, probably my biggest issue, is the statue is connected by the left foot has a key and peg. It's completely in, completely flush. The right foot is not. Check out this picture. Come on. Seriously? $1,800 statue that doesn't have a ton going on and you can't get it perfect? So let's just be honest. The design is trash. It's a T. If this was a $300 statue, I think it'd be a different story. But shame on you, Weta. Next categories are paint and sculpt, and we're going to talk about these together. And, you know, another spoiler, they're really, really good. It's definitely going to be higher than a V. So the question is, will those forthcomings wash away the sins of the last category? Let's find out. Here's pictures of the exterior Black Museum base, or sub base as I call it. It's fine. It's painted on nice. I don't like the concept of it, as we discussed. Let's look at the inside of it, though. This water effect is the best water effect I've ever seen. It is phenomenally done. It's dark but transparent at the same time. You have rocks coming out of it that have a small moist effect where the rocks are coming out. Some of the higher up rocks we'll look at in a second also have a little bit of like running water moist effect. And underneath, there are fish. There are bones. There is tons of cool stuff in this cave pond. There are more rocks. There's rocks with moss growing on them. It is really, really good. And let's look at the rocks outside of the water. Again, awesome job. The coloring, this darker coloring, but not too dark. And I love the texture on these, the sculpt, the paint. It looks great. Little white, almost crystals. And then where some of the water effect is underneath that, it's a darker brown type color to show that water continually runs down there. Huge props to them on this. Let's look at some of the things on the rocks. First, you see what I would call like fungus. You have fungus growing all over. It's this, it's real fungus. Fungus usually is more this color than it is green. And the sculpt is great. It looks like real fungus growing. Some mushrooms on the back. He has bones all over, which, you know, Gollum is a cannibal. So I assume these were other people. They look like those types of bones. And then if you doubt it, just look at the big skull on the back. Whether this was, you know, someone of his species, the river folk or whatever that was, or a human, who knows. But it looks great. It looks like a real skull. Not human, of course. I guess it's not very human-like. But the age, the wear, the paint looks awesome. A few other things they have on the rocks. First, here's a bat. I don't like this. It doesn't look like a real bat to me. It's not furry. Bats are furry, believe it or not. The shape of it is strange. I think they should have left this part out. I appreciate what they were trying to do, but it was a miss. But more importantly, right below the bat is his Precious. His Precious is right there. Cool Easter egg on this statue. Now with Gollum, we're going to kind of jump around. Usually we go from foot to head, but his foot is almost higher than his head, and his arms are all over the place. But one interesting thing, as I talked about with his face sculpt, is in each movie he changed a little bit because they, you know, advanced CGI or the scenery. He was in a lot of dark scenes. So his skin is very light on this statue. So let's talk about that. Just looking at the paint on his skin. First, the different tones in there are great. Different flesh tones, pinks and reds. You see a few blues where some veination is. This skin is much lighter than I remember him in the movie, but you didn't see him in the sun too often. So I don't know how accurate it is, but it looks really good. Well done. He has some spotting all over his skin. Now let's look at the sculpt of it. What I don't understand, and not about the statue, but about the character, is he should have much better musculature with such a high protein diet that he eats. But you can see his bones almost coming out, whether it is on his feet. And then you also see some veins in there. Look at his spine on his back. Really just almost coming out of his skin. His skin is wrinkly everywhere. The bones on his front, his rib cage here, very elongated torso, just like all of his extremities. Makes him more creepy. They did a great job with the anatomy, though. Looks like a starved kid. And I like the position. And one nice thing is they were able to... my real friend, Tim, that's how you say his name, makes the point that a lot of times sculptors, when a character is stretching, the position of their anatomy changes and they miss that. They did not miss that here. Check out his fingers, really elongated, creepy. Every part of him is elongated. His hands seem like they're a little bit darker than the rest of his skin. And look at his hand on the back where he's holding his prison shank made out of a bone. Some more blue veins on it. Just really creepy all over. Here's just some random shots. They did a great job, both on the sculpt and the paint. Let's look at his loincloth here. As I said, it looks like paper. It feels like paper. Big miss there. And you can actually lift it up, and he has a sculpted underwear on and a huge seam line, which I'm not going to show you is good stuff because we don't do Gollum porn on this channel. And then in between his right thigh and his body, I thought this was packaging, but it's not. It's like a little pouch that is unneeded. Huge miss. Let's get to his portrait, starting with his head. His hair is different lengths, and it's rooted in here. It looks fantastic, very movie accurate. Well done. Great job on his head. You can kind of see almost where it feels like his head is sewn together. But interestingly, behind his right ear, he kind of has this fresh wound, and it looks like a real wound. The paint on it, awesome job. His ears look great. Just like everything else, it's overemphasized, almost elven ears, hobbit ears, pointy ears. Check out his portrait. There's a lot going on here. As I talked about, his expression is fantastic. You can look at him 1 second and he looks evil and mad. The other one, he looks curious. The other one, he looks playful. The other one, he looks bored. That's really well done. I want to focus on his eyes. So these huge glass eyes are kind of freaky, and I don't remember this to the movie, so I might be wrong, but they're darker in the movie in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but because of the way they're displayed and the way the light hits them, they actually follow you, which is kind of freaky. And there's this huge reflection off them, and of course I have studio lights on. Right underneath his nose here, you have a resin water effect, like his nose running. Cool thing they added. Maybe it would have been cooler if it was drool beneath his mouth here. I like the way they sculpted his mouth. The tones on it look good too. His teeth I'm really unsure of because they're a mess. They don't look good, but it's Gollum. He doesn't have good teeth. So is this accurate, or was it bad sculpting? Or is it bad paint? I don't know. So you can put your opinion in the comments on what you think of that. So there you have it, people. Let's start off with the sculpt. It's a no-brainer. Sculpt is an X. It's fantastically done on every level. I think they knocked it out of the park. The only question I would have would be the teeth. Paint, I gotta go X on the paint too. It is really well done. The different tones, the colors, how everything matches. So what a crazy statue. They throw out this huge price tag, and they knock out the paint and sculpt, the two most important parts. They knock out the concept. But so many design issues if they're going all in. Here's the ironic thing. My final score is between a V for very nice and a W for rail. If the price was cheaper, the score would be less because it would be easier to attain. If the ES was lower, the score would be higher. So $600 ES, that's a lot. 600, not dollars, 600 quantity, 589 quantity. I would pay $1,000 for this. I think $1,200 is too much. So because of the price point and the high ES, I think that gives it a V. It's a very nice statue. Ironically, we're just trying to judge the statue overall, but you have to consider the price point and you have to consider the edition size. So I think because of that, it drops it down a grade. If Weta Workshop had come out and said, hey, this is going to retail at $9.99, we're going to make 300 of these, then I think that would have instantly increased the overall score of the statue. I am happy to get it. I'm glad I got a great deal on it. I think I can get my money back because most places you see, they retail for a lot more. But my recommendations to Weta, don't spend so much time and money on the packaging. Spend it on the QC. Spend it on little things you could have done better for this. Don't go mixed media on a $1,800 statue that's 17 inches tall either. But happy to own this piece, and he's going to go right behind me, so you will see him in the future, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.